Hello, my name is Alice Mullen. I'm a field specialist in food and agriculture for the University of New Hampshire Cooperative Extension. Today's session is Food Safety, a Marketing Strategy for Farmers Market. This is part one of a series, and it gives you an introduction to food safety. Farmers markets are a great place for consumers to get fresh, local, delicious produce. And when you market your produce, you want to make sure that it's displayed attractively so people will buy it. But another thing in your marketing strategy to consider is food safety. More and more people want to know where their food comes from, how it's grown, and is it safe to eat. So when you think about why food safety is important, one of the main things you want to do is protect your customers' health. When you sell someone produce, you want to make sure that they don't end up like this guy did in the bathroom. You certainly don't want people to eat the produce, get sick, and then have the symptoms of a foodborne illness like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The other thing that is important with food safety is it helps to protect your business. If someone was to eat food from your farm, get sick, that certainly is going to result in loss of business. You could have potential lawsuits, medical bills, and then also it can damage your reputation. They estimate that 1 in 6 Americans get a foodborne illness each year. So it's important that we handle our food safely. In addition to damaging your reputation, it also could damage the reputation of the farmers markets and the farmers markets in New Hampshire. So it's important not only that you handle food properly, but everybody else that sells food at the market does also. You may remember a couple of years ago when there was an outbreak of E. coli with spinach that was grown in California. And even though this spinach was grown in California, it impacted New Hampshire. New Hampshire farmers responded that they had to plow under several fields of spinach because they couldn't sell it because people were very concerned that the spinach was going to cause them to get sick. So even though the spinach was grown in California, the media impacted New Hampshire as well. Foodborne illness is typically not associated with produce. Usually you think about it being with raw meats or chicken or eggs, but there have been more and more incidences of foodborne illness with produce. Cantaloupe has been one that's been associated with Listeria and Salmonella. Mixed greens have been associated with E. coli, and green onions have also been associated with Salmonella. And these are all different types of bacteria that can contaminate food, and when people eat it, get sick. Raspberries have been associated with Cyclospora, which is a parasite that's found in water. Sprouts, which used to be very popular to be put on sandwiches, have been associated with Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli. So now you very rarely find them being added to sandwiches or eaten raw. And then also sliced tomatoes have been associated with Salmonella. When you look at what went wrong and why these foods caused a foodborne illness, most likely it was because either a result of poor personal hygiene, cross-contamination, or time and temperature abuse. And we're going to talk about these topics later in the series. So who do you think is responsible for food safety? Is it A, the farmer or grower, B, the food industry, C, the government, D, the health inspector, E, the food service staff, or F, the consumer? If you think about it and answered all of the above, you were correct. Food safety is really everyone's responsibility. The farmer needs to use good agricultural practices so that their produce is safe. The food industry has to process it safely, again, so people don't get sick. The government provides guidelines on how to handle food safely, and the inspector helps to monitor that to make sure that people are doing things correctly. Food service staff need to prepare our food safely at restaurants, and then consumers also have to make sure they handle food properly when they get it home. So the thing to remember is food safety is everyone's responsibility. Customers trust that your product is safe, and they are watching you to see how you handle it, and they want to know how it's grown. So that's the thing to remember, that food safety is really an important component of your marketing strategy. If you'd like more information about this or have any questions, You can contact me at alice.mullen@unh.edu. You can also go to our website, and there's lots of other information and fact sheets on food safety.